Close your eyes. Feel the scorching sun blistering your skin, a merciless desert where thousands of souls scream in silence. This isn't a horror movie. It's ancient Egypt, for 1,500 years ago. Pharaohs weren't gentle kings. They were bloodthirsty gods who turned prisoners into eternal guardians through rituals so cruel they'd make any curse feel like a blessing. What did they do in the pyramid depths? Something worse than death. Welcome to Dark Pharaohs. If you dare stay, you'll uncover secrets buried for millennia. Subscribe now, or run while you can. This tale begins with Pharaoh Sneferu, legendary father of the Great Pyramid's builder, Khufu. He wasn't a fairy tale hero. He was a ruthless conqueror. In the 20th year of his reign, Sneferu launched a lightning invasion into Nubia, the land of gold and black warriors. Thousands of prisoners, rock-solid men, wild-eyed women, children with shattered innocence, were seized in midnight raids, bound with papyrus ropes, and dragged across the Sinai desert. Not for simple labor or slavery. Oh no, they were ingredients for the Akh ritual, transforming them into immortal spirits, forever trapped to serve a living god. But the price? Agony that lasted days, in secret chambers reeking of death and scorching resin. Picture the chaos. Long reed boats gliding silently on the Nile at night, archers with venom-dipped arrows striking sleeping Nubian villages. An imagined witness, a young warrior named Khepri, drawn from Saqqara inscriptions, recounts in lost sagas. I saw my brothers fall like wheat, bound and hauled to Giza. Women wailed at the moon, but priests stuffed their mouths with cobra milk-soaked cloth. Sneferu, in his double crown of blue and white, symbolizing unified Egypt, oversaw it all from a gold chariot pulled by sacred bulls. Over 5,000 souls captured in one campaign, per the Westcar Papyrus. They believed the sacrifice would flood the Nile richly, but the truth was darker. Prisoners were food for the pharaoh's Ka, their vital essence stolen slowly through black magic woven with primitive surgery. The march to the pyramids took weeks. Prisoners parched, beaten with palm switches, forced to chant false hymns to Ammonius. One of them, a woman named Nefertari, inspired by funerary texts, might have whispered, "They promised gold, but gave us shadows." At Giza, they were sorted like cattle, the strong for living walls, women for eternal maids, boys for gate guardians. The Akh ritual began at midnight, under carved gods' gazes. Priests, bodies oiled in myrrh and masked as jackals, prepared the potions, a diabolical brew of cobra venom, mandrake roots, and black bull's blood. Injected straight into veins with bronze needles, it triggered vivid hallucinations, visions of thirsting gods devouring souls. But it wasn't magic, it was calculated torture, designed to break the mind before the body. The first phase? Opening the shadow. Prisoners were led into subterranean galleries, air thick with dust and chants. Strapped to basalt altars, the potion was administered, a black liquid that burned like fire. Khepri, our imagined hero, would feel it flow, poison that makes you see your mothers devoured by crocodiles. Many died instantly, but survivors? They were the prizes, awakened souls for service. Modern archaeologists like Zahi Hawass, in 2023 digs, found proof, skeletons with primitive injection scars, twisted in desperate prayer poses. Worse than a curse, it was a sentence to tormented immortality. But that was just the beginning. What came next in the depths? Sacrifices that claimed not just the body, but the soul, women mummified alive, boys turned into castrated sentinels. Stay with me, because the truth gets even darker. If this hook grabbed you, like and comment. Would you survive a pharaonic ritual? Next part reveals the Nubian women's terror. You didn't think the Akh ritual ended with the men's shadows? No, the true horror bloomed in the women's chambers. Nubian captives, fierce daughters of the Nile's southern bend, faced fates twisted into eternal servitude. What pharaohs did to them wasn't quick death. It was a slow unraveling of body and soul, turning mothers into mummified ghosts. Dive deeper with me into the Ka servant's Rite, secrets from Karnak's walls that still echo screams today. You didn't think the Akh ritual ended with the men's shadows? No, the true horror bloomed in the women's chambers. Once sorted at Giza, the women, over 2,000 in Sneferu's hall alone, were herded into the house of the Ka, a labyrinth of rose granite halls beneath the pyramids. Nefertari, our imagined survivor from Nubian lore, echoing funerary stele, clutched her hidden amulet of Isis as priests circled like vultures. "We were the chosen for eternity," she might recount, but eternity meant chains in the dark. The rite began with the same venom brew, but laced with lotus extract to dull resistance without mercy. Injected under torchlight, it induced paralysis laced with fever dreams, visions of their children sacrificed to Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of slaughter. Historical texts from the Palermo stone detail how these visions broke their will, preparing them for the unspeakable, live mummification as servants to the Pharaoh's spirit in the afterlife. Picture it, stripped and anointed with natron salts that burned like acid, the women were bound spread-eagled on slanted slabs. Priests heated pine resin mixed with crocodile fat over braziers, then poured it, scalding, directly into incisions carved along their limbs. Nefertari's screams would mingle with chants to Hathor. "Your flesh becomes eternal, your pain our Pharaoh's shield." The resin hardened inside veins, preserving them alive for hours, turning blood to stone while organs still pulsed. By dawn, half were ready, hollow-eyed husks, voices reduced to rasps, dragged to ceiling niches. The Book of the Dead's hidden spells justified it. The Ka demands loyal shades, forged in fire. But archaeology whispers truth. 2024 Karnak excavations unearthed resin-crusted female remains, incisions matching ritual blades, faces frozen in mid-agony. Centuries later, under Ramses II, the self-proclaimed god-king, the women's fate evolved into mass spectacle. In the Ramesseum's courts, 100 captives per inundation were selected for heart offering to Onisare, Nefertari's descendants, perhaps, lined up before the colossal statue, hearts pounding as obsidian knives flashed. "We fed the sun god our life," a steel fragment laments, "that he might rise eternal." Priests, in falcon masks, plunged blades upward, extracting still-beating organs amid collective wails, blood channeled into sacred canals to anoint the Nile. Survivors? Branded with hot irons bearing the cartouche, left to wander as omens of fertility. Papyrus Anastasi for records the frenzy. Their cries pleased the gods, ensuring bountiful harvests. Yet, Luxor tomb reliefs from 2025 scans show the depravity. Women's forms stylized in eternal torment, a warning etched in stone. These weren't myths. Zahi Hawass's teams in 2024 confirmed it, unearthing a Ka chamber with 40 resin-preserved female mummies, hearts ritually removed, positioned as if serving invisible feasts. The final twist? A sealing incantation trapped their souls in pyramid walls, dooming them to haunt intruders eternally. Nefertari's spirit, legend says, still whispers warnings to archaeologists. But the pharaoh's cruelty knew no gender bounds. What they inflicted on the boys, young guardians forged in blood, was a depravity that chilled even the gods. Like, comment your reaction, and stay tuned. Part 3 unveils the boys' forbidden rite. The pharaoh's shadows spared no innocence. While women became eternal maids, the boys, plucked like unripe lotus, faced the rite of Horus, a castration forged in divine cruelty. These young Nubian warriors-to-be weren't just sacrificed, they were remade into gate guardians, their futures stolen in blood under falcon gods. What followed chills the Nile itself. Enter the flower-plucking horrors, hidden in Saqqara's sands. In the Ak ritual's twisted branches, boys aged 8 to 12, over 500 from Sneferu's Nubian hall, were separated at Gizeh's sorting yards, their cries drowned by temple bells. Chosen for purity, as per the coffin texts, they were the flowers of the south, symbols of Nile fertility. Our imagined Khepri's son, little Amenhotep, drawn from juvenile stele, might have clutched a reed doll as priests anointed him with sacred oil. You will guard Horus's gates forever, your seed the river's gift. But eternity came at a cost. Fed a milder venom brew, honeyed mandrake to numb yet heightened senses, they were paraded through hypostyle halls, chanting hymns that masked their fear. The Palermo annals note annual quotas. Pluck the buds for the falcon's nest. This wasn't mercy, it was preparation for emasculation, ensuring their spirits remained uncorrupted for afterlife watch. At dawn in Saqqara's Serdab chambers, secret vaults behind Mastebas, the rite unfolded. Strapped to Horus-eyed altars of Electrum, the boys faced the plucking. Priests, veiled in falcon feathers, wielded curved obsidian knives blessed by Thoth. "Your manhood feeds the flood," they intoned, severing in one swift arc to minimize blood, though cries pierced the stone. Amenhotep's imagined torment, a flash of cold steel, then numbness turning to fire, his blood collected in ibis jars to anoint the Nile for bountiful silt. The pyramid texts glorify it. The Pure One becomes the eternal sentinel, his loss the gods gain. Survivors, bandaged in natron-soaked linens, were sealed as living statues in pyramid niches, doomed to guard against tomb robbers, their voices silenced forever. But whispers persist. Some texts hint at mercy killings for the weakest, a second plucking by crocodile jaws. Archaeology doesn't lie. In 2024, Luxor digs by Hawass revealed a boy pit near KV 62. 50 juvenile skeletons, ritual incisions precise as scalpels, dated to Old Kingdom. Nearby, Saqqara shafts held natron-wrapped remains, tools stained with hematite, blood ink. The rite tied to Nile cycles. Boy's essence, poured into sacred wells, believed to summon floods. A Horus papyrus fragment warns, "Pluck too few, and the river weeps dry." Yet, for the boys, it was erasure, their stories buried, spirits bound to wander as unseen watchers, cursing any who disturbed the pharaoh's rest. This purity scarred Egypt's legacy, echoes in later myths of eunuch guardians, from Persian influences to Ptolemaic courts. Amenhotep's ghost, folklore claims, haunts Giza, whispering of stolen tomorrows. But the Ox pinnacle awaited, the pharaoh's own death rite, where all converged in a frenzy of blood and seals. Hit like if this chilled you. Comment. Innocence lost forever? Part 4 seals the curse. The boys' plucked purity was the Ox's cruel foundation, but the pharaoh's death unleashed its apocalypse. In the reversed mouth opening, all converged, women's resin shades, boys' silent guards, men's awakened shadows, sealed in a frenzy to escort a god-king beyond. Sneferu's own passing reveals the pinnacle, a ritual where blood bought immortality, cursing the living for eternity. When Sneferu fell in his 24th regnal year, struck by a divine fever per the Westcar papyrus, Giza became a vortex of preparation. His body, anointed in 365 jars of sacred oils, one per Nile day, lay in the Red Pyramid's antechamber as priests invoked Osiris. The reversed opening rite inverted the Book of the Dead's opening the mouth. Instead of awakening the Ka, it devoured others to fuel it. Selected survivors from Ak captives, Nefertari's hollow form, Amenhotep's bandaged vigil, Khepri's shadowed essence, were summoned as final offerings. Clad in white linen, they circled the sarcophagus under eternal flames, chanting, "Your mouths feed ours, your breaths become our sails." This wasn't burial, it was a harvest, ensuring the pharaohs be soared while theirs withered in stone bonds. At the rite's heart, under a canopy of scarab stars, came the frenzy. Priests slit ritual pouches, not veins, but symbolic, releasing stored essences. Boys' Nile-anointed blood, women's resin tears, men's venom shadows, poured over the mummy in crimson cascades. "Drink the devoured," the high priest proclaimed, as incantations sealed the souls, baybirds trapped in wall frescoes, forever serving feasts unseen. Sneferu's Ka, legend whispers, stirred with borrowed vigor, his eyes painted anew to see through captives' gazes. The Palermo stone alludes, the king's house grows strong on the weak's silence. For the offerings, it was oblivion, sealed alive inside niches, their whispers fueling pyramid curses that felled explorers centuries later. Today's echoes? Hawass's 2023 scans of Sneferu's pyramid revealed offering niches with faint resin stains and juvenile wrappings, proof of the frenzy. Curses linger, Tutankhamun's tomb-fevered Carter mirroring Ak's vengeful shades. These rituals weren't myth, they were Egypt's dark engine, binding life to death in eternal debt. Dark Pharaohs wasn't just Sneferu's tale, it's Egypt's veiled truth, Power built on stolen eternities, worse than any curse. From Nubian raids to sealed shades, the sands hide screams that shaped a civilization. Thanks for braving the depths. If this unearthed your chills, like, subscribe, and comment. What's the next Pharaoh horror? Next, Ramses' Heart Feasts. Explore more dark histories, hit notifications. The Nile calls, but beware its shadows.